Hello, hello. Welcome one and all. Welcome to my stream. I am Paladin Ashe, here to stream for you again. And hello, Warden Wolf. Good to see you here bright and early. Today we're getting back into it with Grim Dawn. I already have the capture up. It just chooses not to acknowledge it when I'm not in screen, when I'm in the pre-stream and all that jazz, but whatever. The fuck was I? Wood. Okay, report to Mornay at Devil's Crossing.
Well, is it finished?
Darius is no more and his gang is scattered.
A little safer today with that monster dead. Now what of Elsa? Damnation. Perhaps she escaped and ran for Homestead. Or maybe they sold her. I have to go back out there. If there is any chance that Elsa still lives, I have to find her. I owe her that much. Now that we're not in any imminent danger, we need to deal with a more subtle enemy. Starvation. Devil's Crossing is running out of food and our supply runs are coming up dry. We need a reliable source of food and we need it fast. Barnabas has some...
Barnabussy.
That skill's not ready.
Right, I need to drag up my my build. And by drag up my build. Oh, is that perhaps it? That thank you, recent addresses. See, let's take a look at you. No points. And I am level 27. Doing pretty good. So it was announced that the state of play. State of play is for like Sony, right? So it's probably just all Sony stuff. Oh, sweet. Oh shit, that means I need to okay. Okay, was any of those games Suikoden related? I must know.
Come, friend. Share a glass of clean water with old Barnabas to celebrate your victory in Burwich. Right to business, then. Before the world fell apart, Burwich got its food stocks from the vast farmlands to the northwest. With the bridge repaired, we need to find a way back to Homestead. The journey will take you far to the northwest, and I haven't a clue what's out there. Start by following the road out into the Arcovian foothills, all the way through Old Arcovia. With luck, the old coastal bridge near Twin Falls still stands. If that's not an option, I have to look for Smuggler's Pass. It's an old smuggling route that ran through the broken hills. It should connect to Homestead. We must find out whether the farmlands can still support us, or if the Grim Dawn claimed them as it did Burwich.
Huh. Rev Noir. Might have to look into that because, you know, I'm down for an anime game.
Nobody's been as far north as Homestead in months, so I can only imagine what sort of horrors have crawled out of the mountain crags following the grim dawn. Stay sharp.
New Metal Gear Solid 4 and Peace Walker remaster with a new Silent Hill game. Huh. Man, Konami really is healing. Because, like, the way I understand it, fucking Kojima bankrupted their asses with his unrestrained development cycles. And it was the reason why they went into pachinko for a time. See, savages living up in the foothills have destroyed this once magnificent structure. With the bridge gone and the road to the smuggler's pass washed out by storms, the way north is barred to us. There is one other, but you would be a fool to try. South of here are the ruins of the ancient city of Arkovia. There is a passage there through the Arkovian Undercity that leads into the Broken Hills. It would be wise to turn back. That is the realm of the cursed dead. Legacy of Kain Defiance Remaster 2? My buddy Joey will probably be enthused by that. I've never played the Legacy of Kain games, but based off of like what I've read about them, they are up his alley. Yes, the remnants of Arkovia's cursed people. Their tale is a tragic one, but none could tell it better than Umkala back at our camp near New Harbor. We'll have to speak to her. Where the fuck is New Harbor? Probably nearby. They're so good. Well, at least I love them. Maybe because I share a first name with the main character. Your name's Kane? That is actually pretty baller. Helen Fletcher. I imagine it's Kane with different origins than, oh, what? You mean the sort of, pausing sort of thing? When I do, like, this? That's not the game freaking out. That's literally me just shuffling into a different window. I don't have the build screen, you know, on, you know, thing. Yeah. I asked because, like... So, like, this is one webcomic I read called Girl Genius. Despite its fluffy name, it's actually really baller. It's basically steampunk fantasy where the main character is a hidden princess if the princess's dynasty was essentially uber Mongol mad scientists. Like, mix the, you know, Khan's Golden Horde with, like, mad scientists who warp reality. And then you've got the Heterodyne family. And at one point, she runs astray of and eventually later on sort of befriends, insofar as you can befriend a spark. That's what people who do mad science in that setting are called. She is befriended by this dude whose name is Moloch von Zinzer. And at one point he's doing repairs inside of like the church of her like family's ancestral home. And he makes mention that he doesn't spend much time in church growing up. And like some orphans there are like, yeah, we could tell based off your name. If I'm honest, my mom named me because of a 70s TV show called Kung Fu Lamau. I used to know a guy named Hayden who, his parents were big fans of like an actor or something like that by that name. Also, my dad once met a chick named Thelina in a fucking bar. And he was like, that's an interesting name because I want to say she was like white as fucking snow. And she's like, it came to my father in a dream. He later on asked her if her dad was a big fan of like that one artist who wrote the town of El Paso. Hey, Chanka. Oh, that's super great. Are you kidding me? Fuck you. Oh, bruh. Oh. What do you mean? Oh, no.
I can't do that yet.
Hurrah. He wanted it for his private collection.
I can't do that yet.
I mean, technically there's Art of Char, so... What are you talking about? He's literally a Char clone. Oh shit. Tentacle monsters.
Not ready.
So is this Twink Belmont on the, like, the younger side or something? That makes sense. It's the state of my inventory. Okay. I think you helped me realize the other day that I like my men like women and my women like my like men. I mean, that's fair. Dommy mommies are in right now. Muscle Dommy mommies, I should add. That is a lot of... Yeah, I'm gonna equip that. Wait, no. I can't equip that because +3 to skeleton. Reminds me of these fucking like Elden Ring dub overs where at one point they did Millennia, and Millennia's are like, does the Tarnished want uppies? I always love the the sort of like the Elden Ring fan fiction that chooses entirely to avoid having, say, like the Tarnished speak at all. Like, they may not well be mute, but they basically just don't talk in any way that's necessarily discernible. Like, there's this one artist I followed on For Affinity. They're doing a comic that is the Tarnished in an alternative path line where Blythe the wolf doesn't go crazy and die. And I'm just like following the story, because like the main character is basically a Tarnished who kind of just oopsie daisy didn't run into Melina and ends up learning how to do the whole rune thing, turning runes into power and whatnot thing from what I think is basically a fragmentary being that's like a part of him. He's like, weren't you supposed to have met Melina? And they're like, who? And it's like, never mind, I'll show you. And then Blythe starts getting mad fucking jelly, because this guy wearing a wolf mask is, holding his hands in junk.
I'll give you a good price for what I've got left.
I'm too bougie for yellows. I don't have Siphon Soul, or do I? I don't think I do. Where Bloodborne. Alas, fucking Sony has Bloodborne by the balls and won't let go of it. All right, I was gonna equip this here. There's no going back. From this temptation I sunder us. Henceforth, mankind will no longer have wings to fly him to paradise. He shall walk. I butchered that line. Sad. Yeah. It's weird how it's like in the current state of things. While I certainly am not the kind of snob who judges the person for having a console, I judge the companies behind all of the current consoles on the market. Like, I judge them hard. And it's really a question of which one currently sucks the most. Because Microsoft is straight up incompetent. Sony is grubby as hell. But Nintendo is basically like to gaming what Disney is to movies. Oh, any The Last of Us announcements? I want to know if they are doing another definitive edition of The Last of Us 1 or 2. Oh yeah, that does suck, EA. I think my Switch broke, won't load anymore. That's genuinely awful. Sell that.
See you around.
So I think it was 1 sec. Where is that? Light Fiend. Will of the Crypt. $28, 22 should to 29 should be spent maxing out Summon Blight Fiend and getting 1 point into Rotting Fume so we can tank 1 point. Get the Death Watcher Pendant. 29 to 56 is all about the auras and buffs. Okay. Bruv, I'm not maxed out for that.
I can't do that yet.
That's Old Harbor. I have that for my build, but I haven't gotten any devotion points to my knowledge. Oh, points available. One sec. Devotion. See, Crossroads, Imp, Crossroads, Blue. Crossroads, Blue. Ah, okay. So you get them from restored shrines. Good thing that I've been doing those whenever I see them. See. Imp, Aether Fire on Raised Skeletons. Crossroads, Purple. Shepherd's Crook. Okay, so they want me to Aether Fire on Raised Skeletons. Okay. Okay. Okay, there we go. Might start a new run on Div 2 soon. Hey, so because Div is way less anal when it comes to builds, do you reckon Bo will be interested? I'm not sure. Because, like, this isn't really his kind of game. I mean, he's you know, threatened to do a rogue trader play, but he's not really big into the tactical RPGs and whatnot. Wait, I came there specifically so I could chat with that chick. Go in peace, but beware. The road north has collapsed, a terrible conflict between the Legionnaires and the bandits. I'm afraid the only way now would be through the mines controlled by... I have to get there somehow. Which way to the mines? Thank you. Did you know Arcovia is the ancient birthplace of the Rawari? I could tell you much of this land if you have time. Please, I'd been interested in... The ruins that dot the landscape were once part of a thriving culture in ancient times. Arcovia prospered by acting as a trade hub between the Western lands and the Great Lake. From the little fishing village of New Harbor, which is hardly a harbor at all, the stone pylons of Arcovia's once massive docks can be seen still jutting from the water, the wood long rotted away. Yeah, because arguably Div plays more like XCOM than Baldur's Gate 3. Yeah. He can be a little bit resistant to like games outside of his like interests, especially games that require you to like read out loud a lot. and I get why. He gets uncomfortable about having to like voice characters in like unvoiced games, but it's kind of like unreasonable to do a stream where it's entirely like unvoiced characters and that's the entire story, and you're just sitting there like mumbling to yourself. I mean, I did a Suikoden 1 and 2 playthrough on stream, and honestly, at times it was a little bit draining because I'm like sitting there having to do all the voice ranges for a variety of characters, especially because a lot of the dialogue is very repetitious. But yeah, that's Suikoden 2 for you. Let's see. To Frank, Div 2 was pretty well voiced, and after Baldur's Gate 3, the new Divinity game is probably going to be fully voiced. Yeah, probably. I don't know. I think it really would come down to it's just not really his kind of game, but yeah. How did Arkovia fall? Arkovia was a proud city, but its people were overly obsessed with war and titles. The nobility constantly maneuvered and plotted against one another, sometimes leading Arkovia into civil war. Some seasons, little was planted as the common men from different fiefs were called to arms by lords squabbling with one another. Eventually, society collapsed and weakened Arkovia became easy prey to outside powers. Provinces were lost and the domain of Arkovia contracted, yet the city itself was never conquered by foreign foes. Its death was far more sinister. What did happen to the city of Arkovia then? In the final years, decades after Rowan, the last king of Arkovia and the father of the Rowari, abdicated the throne, the great houses came to outright war over the vacant throne. Eventually, an oligarchy formed comprised of the most powerful remaining houses. Each was ever maneuvering and plotting against the others, all believing that if they could only seize power for themselves, they could usher in a new golden age for the city. Their machinations brought only destruction and misery, hastening Arkovia to its ruin, driving them in turn to pursue desperate measures that brought them ruin on the catastrophic scale. Its weight is still heavy upon this land. You mentioned necromancers played a part in the final fall. The final doom of Arkovia, that which has cursed these lands ever since, was indeed delivered by necromancers. Necromancy is an ancient art, but it flourishes during the early days of Arkovia's history. That is, until it was outlawed. Necromancers were hunted down and jailed in the steppes of torment. There, they were punished for the transgressions against nature, but the dark art could never be fully stamped out. It is said that one of the necromancers imprisoned in the tower never aged, even after decades of imprisonment, and they found that he could not be killed by any means within their power. He was known by the name Ouroboros, and his seeming immortality turned against him on the torturer's table. In the end, though, he had his vengeance. How did Ouroboros manage to carry out his vengeance? As Arkovia waned, the oligarchs became increasingly desperate and driven to extreme measures. When they learned of Ouroboros and his strange immortality, they were foolishly intrigued. The great houses lusted for the secret knowledge by which they could achieve immortality for their bloodlines, and they thought to compel that knowledge from the necromancer. Ouroboros played upon their desires and betrayed them with a false ritual that they were all too eager to believe. The souls of the Arkovians were bound eternally to their cursed city while their mortal flesh decayed. Since there is something you're holding back. Yes, the most terrible part of this tale. I had thought not to speak it, but you seem determined to seek the full truth. The last part of the tale is of the children birthed after the ritual's magic had taken hold. They entered this world horribly deformed and inhuman. Their feet were said to be clawed, and from their backs sprouted diseased plumage, like the feathers of birds who feast upon the dead. Not many venture into the Broken Hills anymore, but those who do say these accursed children of Arkovia have endured, and now prey upon travelers who pass through these lands. Thus the doom of Arkovia was complete, wiping out the past and future bloodlines of the great houses and cursing these lands to this day. Let's see. Yeah, that's kind of the thing. Like, Arcovia's End is an interesting bit in dark fantasy because the ghosts you see are those, think about the thing I have about immortality is like oftentimes people will basically be like, oh, who wants to live forever? You're gonna get like sad and done with the world over time. But a big part of what makes living suck is how you are around for your body decaying against you and how you're reminded of your mortality every step of the way. Like, I had a cousin pass this literally this past Christmas. Not quite literally, like a week before it. And I went to his funeral like a week later after Christmas. It was like the first funeral I've ever personally been to. It's okay. Like, I'm not the person who was most immediately affected. He is a cousin, and it's one of the few close like deaths that I wasn't really expecting. Like, it happened abruptly. And I had issues of worrying about my mortality, and still do ever since then. But like, that's kind of the thing, is like when you have no guarantee that tomorrow is certain, you become scared. And when your body is slowly but surely aching and being painful in ways that it wasn't when you were younger, and you remember being younger, every day becomes more of a misery. I'm making it sound really depressing, and I'm only 36. But it's true that in my mind, that part of what makes life difficult to live is living it. You'll lose people, and that will be a reminder that eventually one day you will die too. But if you're like immortal, yeah, you're going to lose people. But that doesn't mean that, you don't, that those connections weren't meaningful, or that you won't be able to find new people. That's not to say that the people around you are replaceable, but like, think about it this way. You could sire generations of descendants, or be that uncle to like generations of your siblings' descendants. That kind of just is always there. Always somebody that can be relied upon. Like maybe a little bit mysterious, but sometimes you show up with like literally an immortality's worth of wealth and be like, and you get a Prius, and you get a Prius, and you get a Prius. You get a Volvo because I like you. Me? Are you saying that I sound younger than I actually am, or that I sound like I'm older than I actually am? I'm not sure which way to take that. Ah! I'm not surprised. It's the voice. I've been told I have a rather effete sounding voice. 9. At least according to popular wisdom, anyways. You're not like the other ghosts. You speak of the dead roaming these parts. Now I am willingly bound to this immortal form. They were not as unfortunate. Greetings, fellow practitioner of the sacred art. You do not know me, but I have heard of you. I am Balvaruk of the Order of Death Vigil. Your skills lead me to believe that you may be who I need for the assignment. Assignment? Yes, I am here to purge this land of several malevolent spirits. Their tainted presence has corrupted Arcovia long enough. However, my masters have underestimated the degree to which these ancient oligarchs have surrounded themselves with their former subjects. The Arcovian Undercity is swarming with the dead, I admit, for more than I could handle without the aid of my brothers. But you are quickly proving to be the force of reckoning this world has never seen. Travel down to the Undercity and banish the spirits of Nomos, Dread, Laudos, Vagra, and Ravenna, or Laudos Vagra and Ravenna Kur. When you are finished, seek out my companion Calderos at the entrance of the Steps of Torment. He will guide you to your next target. I think most people, by a certain point in their life, have almost died a few times. Which is dark to say. But yeah, my voice is kind of stereotypical. I'm told often whenever I gripe about it that my voice is fine, but I've never been a big fan of it. It's a real, from the moments I realized the weakness of my flesh, it disgusted me, moment. And there I go, leveling again. Oh, fine. I'll go pick that up. The first time was when I was 6, I think, when my grandmother fished me out of the ocean in Spain and dragged me away from the beach. You're not telling me you've got some secret history about being, like, found on the beach at a young age and adopted by your family with, like, mysterious and unknown backstory. Brimming, full to the brimming with dramatic potential. He got them those eye obscuring bangs. And that Harem Riz EX. The Undertow? I think that's called like Underco or Toe or Riptide. Yeah, in most beaches, that's not that big of an issue, but it can be like a very dangerous one on some because of just like the topography of the ocean floor. There'll be like places or like reaches of the water where if you go out too far, you will be yanked out to sea if you're not careful and can't tread water. Swimming is a valuable skill, but I choose to keep my swimming to either lakes or indoor pools. See, my mom has this one story about how I basically made my my grandmother's hair turn slightly white for a bit. So like when my family owns like a trailer down in the States, like literally just south of the border and like a little bit east, just like to the foot of Mount Baker. You know, in like an area full of like, you know, trailer plots and whatnot. So it's fairly like wooded, and there are some like pathways you can walk down to get by like a river that flows through the region. It's a very wide open river. Much of it flows rather rapidly, but there are some shoals that you can safely be by. But yeah, one time our like neighboring like, you know, plot, their son, who was just a little bit slow, went with us down by the river and later on came back sans me, and his mother and my mother are like, "Where's Ash?" And he's like, "Oh, he wanted to stay a little bit longer and look at the river." I was maybe 4 years old, unattended beside a river that is fast moving in places. So, as my mom puts it, the adults present promptly shit themselves, freak the fuck out, and rush down to the river, where I was fine. I was just throwing rocks into the water. But that literally could have gone poorly if I was just a smidge stupid. Or a smidge more stupid. Keep in mind, I was a very precocious and curious child. One of the stories that they have is that when I was like a toddler, I climbed over a baby gate. No, actually, no, I didn't climb over the baby gate. I watched my dad install the baby gate, and then I proceeded to open the baby gate because I saw him open the baby gate, so I knew how to open the baby gate. I then go into the kitchen, find their immersion blender. An immersion blender is like those stick rod blenders that you stick into things, so you don't put stuff into them, you stick them into things. And I proceed to lug this thing in because I know it needs to be plugged in to be operated. And then I turn the business end of it onto the front of my diaper. I mean, I was young. It's really hard to say what a child's going to be able to do. Yeah, that could have been fatal. That could have gone really poorly. Thankfully, while an immersion blender is good at blending things, it does not go through, the layers of a diaper that quickly. I didn't cause myself any harm. Gonna have to go back to base oh shit. Ah.
can't carry anymore. I can't carry anymore.
Yeah, suffice to say, I was a difficult infant to watch. Actually, another story involved my fucking my grandmother, like, being rather insistent that, you know, she could watch me just fine. She's raised 6 kids, of which one was my aunt. I have more than one aunt, but my crazy aunt. So she was rather insistent that she could watch me just fine. Then later that evening, she's like, okay, you all keep your eyes on that child, because that child will get away from us if we take our eyes off of him even a little bit. I promptly go missing the moment somebody's not looking at me. Let's see. Not likely to be able to wear that anytime soon, nor that. Don't need that.
Put it to good use.
Good, put it to good use.
There are few people I hold in high regard, and I count you.
What? Okay. I'm supposed to around 29 to. It's all about getting the buffs, putting 15 points into the occultist bar, and finally take your hellhound. Okay. Do.
I can't carry anymore.
Go away! I wish to go back to camp. Stop attacking me.
I'll give you a good price on what I've got left.
Useless. I don't think I have drain essence, so useless. Oh, this is a great upgrade. Wait, no, it is not. I might have the ability to gain access to summon familiar. No, it's okay. Yeah. I don't mind having to do it. It's just that, like, shit accumulates so quickly that, like, you'll be going through a dungeon and not even be half done when you have to go back again and again and again. Useless. I don't mind picking up the yellows, but, you know, mostly because, like, it gives me iron bits, but still. Do I have Master of Death? Gah.
See anything you like? Put it to good use. Come see what's left of my wares. Put it to good use.
Please stay your weapon, mortal. I ask only that you hear me out. What is it? Many years ago, my people made a grave mistake, and now we pay for our hubris, eternally bound to this land. But our children do not deserve the fate placed upon them by our curse. My daughter, Lutra, now stalks the broken hills as a hideous harpy. She suffers for my sins in the body of a monster, bitter, twisted, and having never known a mother's love. Please, mortal, find my daughter, deliver a swift and merciful end to her eternal torment. Oh, it's a dangerous domain. Yeah. Better loot, higher XP, so hence why I'm here. Plus, they're not that hard. These look like Tyranids.
That skill's not ready.
Oh shit. The ravings of Nerenkar. Banished. The sheer audacity. The other oligarchs assured me that if not for my standing, I would have been butchered on the spot like a sow past her prime. Instead, they gave me the dignity of exile. In truth, they fear me. They fear what I've achieved, what I've uncovered in the depths of our libraries. There is power in this universe, a gnawing madness that threatens to unravel all we've built. It yearns for the blood that was taken, and we are but mere drops in the ocean of torment. It might be, but unless it's converting everything to ethereal damage. Yeah, this is more for like a straight necro without minions, or just like full necro sort of deal. But I'm not spec'd into anything that like works off of this. Okay, now where is this bitch? They're not here. Like an amoeba. Well, that's good to hear.
Can't do that.
Also brings a lot more room in your inventory as the things to craft items or add stuff to items will be in a separate window. Yeah, that'll be fucking nice because I'm so annoyed by the aggregate accumulation of like random buff items.
I can't carry anymore.
That was the that little lore note there that I didn't read. I just kind of skirted past. That's the one that talks about how the people of Arcovia found out that they were basically unable to die
Come see
by watching a gladiator get shanked in the back and then maul his attacker who was no threat to him until the dude was literally nothing more than a severed head and like broken limbs upon the ground. But the dude started shrieking in terror because he still wasn't dead. Yeah. Can't equip that. I need something that that replaces that properly, so... Hmm.
see you around.
Safe storage, no questions. I'll hold on to that for you. Safe storage, no questions asked. I'll keep an eye on this.
Come see what's left of my wares. See you around.
I'm gonna place that onto Bones Harvest. Call upon your minions to join your battle. Okay. I know Teso had something similar. The Elder Scrolls Online. Yeah, they had this whole constellation system, and it was basically a secondary form of like growth past the main story.
Watch your back. Trust no one.
See, it just recently convinced me that it's a place where I could help. Told me he was heading as he had urgent. Yeah, it's similar to Skyrim. It's one of those games where it's like it's enough like another game that it kind of, for me, I don't really get that scratch that itch feeling. I get that increasing desire to play other thing. Because other thing has like more to it. Like it's like an Elder Scrolls game, but in a sort of MMO surface level. It's sort of like how Coral Island, great, like Stardew Valley, follower, but certain aspects of it are lackluster enough that I find myself wanting Stardew Valley. And when I play Stardew Valley, I find myself wanting Story of Seasons, i.e. Harvest Moon. Mostly because I'm very committal in who I romance in games like that, so it makes me feel bad that, like, the other characters obviously have, like, their pair-offs, but never get with them. Meanwhile, in Harvest Moon, at least back in the yield days of the PlayStation and 64 era, you could basically go out of your way to befriend somebody and encourage them to marry another person. There was like one storyline with a dude named Cliff, I think it was. He was a drifter, and he would come into town every so often for the summer and fall, but then leave. And if you wanted to marry him off, you had to befriend I think her name was Anne. The chick on the farm, you had to befriend her a bit, and her brother. And then be like, hey, yeah, wanna, you need somebody for a job? I got a guy who needs a job. And she'd be like, oh, sweet. And then, you'd be able to, get them together. You had to do so within a certain span of time, though. If he wasn't properly married to her by, the second year, he wasn't coming back. Yeah. Admittedly, I sucked at doing that work. I remember in Harvest Moon 64, I wanted to marry Karen because she was pretty. That was it. That was literally it. I was just like, I want to marry Karen. And the thing is, she lives on a vineyard, and she is basically like, oh, I don't want to live and she's all like, I don't want to live in this small town anymore. And you have to basically become friends with her before the summer of the first year. Otherwise, you'll get a cutscene where she just fucks off and never comes back. I was 8 at the time, 7 or 8. And I did not process that this cutscene meant that she was never coming back. And then I was like, why can't I find her? Where is she in her usual routines? It was so frustrating, especially because the gifts she likes were kind of expensive. She likes wine and cake. Yeah, at the same time, I also sucked at fucking, making money. I try to reserve all of my my moolah for my energy for doing other things. So I'd have the tiniest of farm setups for the longest of times until I got my my pit upgraded. Okay, where the fuck are the Steps of Torment? One sec. Grim Dawn Wiki Steps of Torment. Found in southern Broken Hills. Well, I should maybe Go into that door and see if there's like a portal. Yeah, there's a portal. Oh, that's my mom. One sec, meeting self. we now return to our previously scheduled content. My apologies. My mom called me up, wanted to arrange some things. I arranged some things. She ordered some books related to sewing for me, etc. Yeah, I was basically like, I made plans to meet up with her and my sister on Sunday, not Saturday, because that's Valentine's Day, and us people in relationships gotta, put forth the effort towards our loved ones that day. Who doesn't love that sudden, like, freeze up of the game? There's this bitch. There's this fucking bitch. You have done as we asked. I am pleased to see it. The oligarchs are gone. With their corruption souls, this land will begin to heal in time. What I must ask of you next is far more dire challenge. Well, next, the Grand Priest Zarthuzalan. Is that properly how I pronounce it? Zarthuzalan was the Arcovian upon whose word all Arcovian necromancers were banished to the steppes of torment. Even in death, he continues to gather the lost souls of Arcovia to his mad word. The time has come to scatter his flock and erase his stain upon the world. You must travel deep within the steppes of torment. On the 3rd floor, you will find the priest and at his desecrated altar. Purge him from this world, and I shall join you below. Treacherous. Poisonous, vigorous, and aether damage. Okay. Because of course, my inventory is full.
I'll give you a good price on what I've got left.
That's a contender for what I've got. But that's a replacement for skeletons, and I'm not sure I feel that. Not feeling that. Not feeling that. Replace that, replace that, replace that, sell that, sell that. Bone harvest. That might actually be a reasonable replacement. Yeah, I'll take it. Don't need that, don't need that. Sort. No, not at this juncture. I won't be able to get I think maybe? I don't know. I can't remember. It's been a while. I am going to start basically disregarding yellows, but, you know, if they're in a pile, they're in a pile. Cyberstan is fucking hell. Oh, God. I suppose that's inevitable, you know, if you're having like siege situations. Oh God, it's sort of like how like Infinite Hulks was the glitch with the most recent war bond. Oh shit. Oh shit. You fucking whore.
That skill's not rich. Can't open that.
Nope, 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 nope.
Can't do that yet.
Oh, you fucker. You fucker. Okay. Okay. Fucking whore. Fucking bitch. Fucking massive slut. The one they called Ouroboros makes mockery of the gods. The Lord Executioner cut at his flesh, but the wounds refuse to bleed. His limbs grow back, his skin is impervious to flame. I believe the time has come for me to descend into that vile place and deal with the heathen myself. We shall see how he reacts to the cleansing flame of the divine. Sealed by an ancient power. You have destroyed the priest. My master will be pleased. For your service, I bestow upon you this key. It is the only way to unlock the ancient places of this world. Ancient places? Yes, many doors were sealed long ago by ancient powers, now lost. The doors before you were secured by such means. But let's warn you, the key will be destroyed once used, and the doors will not remain open for long. Once inside, the only way out is past the Lord Executioner or through death. The Lord Executioner? Alcamos. He was the Arcovian charged with Ouroboros' torment. Now he will suffer in all eternity. It's a place of... I already have that. I will have to come back for this later because I suspect this will fuck me in the mouth. Because this guy here was fucking me in the mouth super hard.
That skill's not ready.
Can you show it the Hellhound scales with that bonuses? Let's take a look at what I am expected to scale into. Okay. 15 points. Okay, next level I'll want to put a point into you. No, actually, I'm moving these over here. Well, I know that that's not the way. Went to Costco earlier, and I gave this woman the biggest stink eye because, like, she was looming in a fucking space that I was trying to pull in, and she was clearly going to leave her damn, like, shopping cart behind, and I'm just like, yeah, you would be the type. Oh no, that's something that offends me. It's like, it takes so little to put your fucking shopping cart back. I don't care how strapped for time you are. Be nice to the minimum wage workers who have to collect them.
If it isn't my old friend from Devil's Crossing. I had a feeling I haven't been entirely honest with you. I'm not a chef, not by profession anyway, although maybe that would have been a better path. As it is, I'm an assassin and former First Blade of the Erelon Emperor. It's a title I've not always been proud to bear, as my line of work has not always been virtuous, but I dealt with threats to the Empire. Now all of humanity is threatened by foes more deadly than anything we've faced before. It is, however, a time when I can put my talents to a more noble purpose. You haven't been entirely forthright with me either, Taken, but don't worry. I'm the keeper of many secrets. A Taken? Well, formerly so, if we get down to semantics. The Ethereal left you just before you hanged to death. Am I not correct? Look, I'm sure you have many questions, but now is not the time. We need to get these people to Homestead. I came upon these refugees on my way through Smuggler's Pass. They were trapped and would soon have become food or entertainment for the trolls. I had to do something. Now we're stuck out here, caught in the midst of a battle between the trolls and the ethereal forces. The tunnel to Homestead is blocked by aether fire, and the only option now is a passage through the mountain deeps. It is a foul place at the bottom of the world, infested with all manner of terrible things that hate the sun. There is no way these people will survive down there. In Devil's Crossing, I saw that you had the power to open rifts. I need you to fight your way to Homestead, secure a rift, and come back for us. So please, help these people. Below...
Okay, let's find the Black Dahlia. Respect my authority. To Undead Legion? Do I have that? Fuck it. Oh, those are good. Those are good. +1 to all skills and fuck it.
Yeah. That skill's not ready. I can't carry anymore.
Yeah, of course.
I'll give you a good price on what I've got left.
Sell, sell. Sell, sell.
Put it to good use.
Grobles. Empire soldiers are abandoning their posts at Tyrant's Hold. It's far enough. You've entered the Black Legion camp. State your business. Let's take a look real quick. Take a point, take your Hellhound, sadly just 1 point for now, get 1 point into Summon Familiar, and max out Storm Spirit. I'll be that gland bulging with venom, a fine sample. Serve you well against less friendly humans. Southeast of camp. Okay, so I do have to go up and then south. No, that was a few zones ago when I was dealing with Crowleus, whatever, a bandit gang. Okay, I still got some room. Ba. Ta-da. Okay, you. Your guide says when you should more focus on one tree more than another, right? Yes, it does. Hence why I'm currently focusing on like this a bit more. Okay. Next one I'll have to invest into Storm Spirit. Yep. It's a necro occultist. Oh. I'm probably gonna have to go back to Devil's Crossing now because, yeah. Suppose it doesn't have to be Devil's Crossing, but yeah, full again. Don't need that. That is not an upgrade. I can't equip that. That is not an upgrade. Gotta hold on to this one. Eye of the Beholder. Oh, that's that classic, Inquisitor helmet. But not for me. Not for me either. No. Oh, well, yeah, but, I play this game so on and off, it's kind of meaningless to, like, accumulate shit, so. Plus, my other characters are far out of this character's, level range, so it's all under-leveled gear for them. Plus, I don't want to indulge my pack rat senses too much. Yeah, if I just accumulate shit and be all like, yes, I could use this at some point, I'm going to wind up with a horde of stuff that I can't let go of because I'll use this at some point. I speak from experience on that front. It is just an unfortunate to thing that you can fall into easily. Bo agonizes over like, my inventory because I do that. All right. I think I'm going to actually retire to Devil's Crossing there and look for somebody to raid because it's about that time. A little bit past. But yeah, let's take a look at who we got. I'm going to raid on Gallant J because it's been a bit. No problem, EA. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for sticking around. I appreciate all who come in to watch me and those who stay or those who go. For those who may be still listening in, I appreciate a follow. I don't demand a sub. I just need to, grow my channel. But either way, hope you have a good rest of your evening, and I hope you enjoy Gallant J. I have been Paladin Ashe, and I am signing off.